Hello guys, this is Hobo. Today I got an interesting match for you. It was a 4-player FFA on Sylvan Charm AA4. In the bottom left, we have none other than Mr. Pankaka. In the bottom right, we have Keitaro in blue. In the top right, we have Dami as white. And in the top left, we have Hobo as red, myself. Ignore some of my little banter with Keitaro. I don't get to speak French often. We did have a spec, I guess. So it seems that myself and Keitaro opening with house first. Keitaro's gonna get his house done before myself. It's loud. Let's just turn that down a little bit more. Poor placement from Dami's house in the top right. Still nothing from Mr. Pankaka. I'd like to take this time to thank the members of the community who have so generously sent me their replays. Rest assured guys, I am going to be taking a look at some of the games you've sent me, and I might be recording them and posting them very shortly. Just had a rather busy week of school. So we got mech play from the top right, and we got some Rax play from the bottom right and top, it seems. It seems that Dami has decided not to finish his barracks immediately and had an idle worker. Mr. Pankaka still hasn't gotten any kind of unit production going. We do have a raider coming out from Keitaro. Be warned, there is a lot of banter between myself and Keitaro in this game. That means he's arrived, my love. I said yes to this. It seems Keitaro has stopped worker production for a second there. I'm gonna be able to get this castle start going. We will see some pretty poor micro on my end shortly. We see a defensive tower coming up from white. Not the best idea. This was unfortunate micro for me. I went out right as he would start to attack. I figured Keitaro wouldn't try to attack me like this. In the meantime, we do see a greedy third castle coming from Mr. Pankaka. I pull 4 workers to try to help aid this. That worker does get out alive. You can see me building Gatling guns behind it. We can see a second castle coming up from Keitaro. Decently late. We see lots of idle workers on White's part. Dami isn't... Okay, yeah, Dami's a noob. I need to really start getting more Gatlings behind this. That was a mistake on his micro to do what he did. He has had that second castle up for a lot longer than myself, though. I'm actually going to be one of the last people to get my expansion fully going. But we will see that Keitaro is going to try to do some damage here. He does kill a worker. He does kill a second worker. A 4th castle coming from Mr. Pankaka. So already Mr. Pankaka has an enormous lead in terms of economy goes. Still not getting as much gold as our blue player though. He does now have 1 more worker than both other players. I do apologize for the bar that keeps appearing on the left. He's not building workers from over here. Looks like a little bit of a push. Keitaro's getting ready for it. He's really dead set on trying to keep me from doing anything. We see a fortress and an advanced workshop coming from white player. Who knows what's going to come from that. A third castle coming from Kitaro, with a third one on my end as well. This is unfortunate timing for Kitaro, as both of us went to poke at the same time. The benefit of mech is they're able to easily repair themselves, so it's not as big of a deal. Some towers coming up from Mr. Pankaka now, with this third castle from Kitaro finally getting ready. We're seeing some action here. A free raider kill, barely any damage in exchange for that. That's free 110 gold. I do need another house coming up pretty soon before I get supply blocked. White is starting to get a decent amount of force up top, but he hasn't taken a second castle yet. We do see quite a few workshops coming from Mr. Pankaka. He went extremely greedily, and it seems no one is punishing that current. In the meantime, we don't see too much coming from white player. I wasn't wrong, just look at green. I'm back. So, we can see an airship flying over my third base. It looks like Kitaro is starting to poke at the white player over here. If you just missed it, I did poke Mr. Pankaka down the side a little bit. Kitaro really should have taken that fight and just killed those guys. I am starting to get my fourth castle now, realizing that seems that our player in white has realized he's behind the game compared to everyone else. We see some mills getting ready from Mr. Pankaka here. 2 mills and 3 workshops. Not much of an army yet, but he's getting there. This is a very bad wall in his case. He can't run away too easily, but also stops people from moving forward. Kitaro is going to continue to try to scout me. No expansions yet from white, but we do see dragon layers. Free kill right over there for that raider. I'm starting to increase my production a little bit. The fourth castle finally starting from Kitaro. Worker count at current 35 for our green player. In terms of economy, he's smashing it, by far beating everyone else. I will say he does leave, gets disconnected when his browser crashes. Both the blue and red players are being very good at spending their cash. I'm getting ready to attack Kitaro's fourth base at current. No upgrades coming out yet, except from blue. Blue's starting to get upgrades, and also I'd like to point out he's getting mages. You can see that I put some caltrops down, which do end up being slightly useful. Now if he tries to move out at all, yep, Pankaka just died. He disconnected, leaving this entire area open for anyone to take. Meanwhile, white's continuing to not do too much up in the top right. I'm going to send my own scout in up top. I'm immediately going to try to seize upon Pankaka's disconnection. Yes, Dami was extremely proud he was able to kill my airship, not knowing that it was empty. I actually have more workers than I really need at this point, although all those mines are fully saturated. Let's see here. I am currently getting a 5th castle down where Mr. Pancaka's natural would be. We see this giant wad of Rax units just sitting there. Let's look at production for a second. 3 workshops to 4 barracks, with him having the upgrade advantage as well. I'm only now starting to get forges. I am also floating 500 gold at current, needing to build more houses eventually. But I am also starting to get catapults in the mix. I need to start really laying down more caltrops and more effectively. The first mages are arriving. Again, not too much going on for our white player, although he does have, what, 15 workers on his main mine. Katara almost killed his own soldier there. I, meanwhile, have another castle up over here. I'm up to 5 castles to Katara's 4. And this has turned into a 1v1 at this point, as Dami has continued to just sit up in the top right like a neutral little city-state. This is where I realized that he has mages, and as it was lagging in the game, I was able to dodge quite easily. At this point, you can see production is getting similar, 5 to 5, with 2 more barracks on his end and 1 more workshop on my end. I keep scouting to make sure that Katara hasn't taken any of these castles. Meanwhile, everyone is just ignoring way in the top, as there's a huge standoff going on in the middle of the map between myself and Katara. This is really where most of the action is. I am going for a flank here, able to dodge that fireball, which would have absolutely destroyed me. Not the best micro on my end, but it surrounds us around with these catapults stealing their damage. I do have 2 more workshops in the way, which will make me tied for production with him. As far as upgrades are going, he still has the lead over me. I am getting a 6th castle now in the bottom left, whereas he's only on 4 still, and his army is now dead, allowing me to push. What I need to do is focus down the workers, and I don't do it quite soon enough. And with only 3 Gatling guns, that's not going to be enough to defend. Poor fireball on his end, wasted mana. He's just walking into these catapult shots, just losing units for free at this point. I do have more production on the way. Decent enough fireball, not the best, but not the worst either. That one does do some damage. The house is killed. House is killed, not castle or house. I do have another castle going on the way down there, as I've completely denied this 4th base from Katara. White, meanwhile, is still only on 1 base. Currently 160 gold left on that mine. In the meantime, he has lost this castle, and it's not looking too good for him. As far as upgrades go, he still has the slight advantage. He's currently getting 2 damage upgrades and has to rebuild this castle. He's trying to get something done over here. Poor micro on his end causes 2 workers to die easily. I have 63 workers to 46 right now, because I have workers at all of these other mines, And I probably have too many, yep, way too many over here, on account of sending my workers from my main down. I keep scouting to make sure that Qatar hasn't taken another base. The population different, I have 50 more pop than him, and 30 of that is army. A decent fireball, ooh, several good fireballs that I walk into, killing a good number of my bullets, Gatling guns. Even more fireballs. He's kind of just spamming them at this point, though, instead of doing it strategically. You will see that I'm going to stream in my army as it's being made to help fight this army. Long distance mining coming from our white player in the top right. Some more fireballs going. A mage and a priest kill over there. Very nice. He is currently not utilizing his full production. He's not started to rebuild this castle yet. He's only on 2 mines at this point, with both getting decently low. We do see an airship coming out from him, though, as he's getting ready to push. We also see an airship scout coming from Dami, as I continue to try to deal some damage to Kataru's base. Also, another castle is going down for me, myself. At this point, it's an overwhelming economy advantage. No more upgrades coming from him, but 6 mages at once, with a huge amount of workers at his second base currently. I currently do not have much for anti-air, which is unfortunate as Dami is going air. I do, however, have plenty of production going on. Again, still only 2 mines for our blue player. On to 1 mine mining from our white player, with their second castle going up. I only had 8 bases when I said that, I believe. Yep. This is a terrifying army to fight, as the white player up top. I would like to point out that Kataru did do a drop, killing a forge in the top left. So at current, I do have 2 more forges being built down here. There's a 3rd one in queue you can't see because this worker is in the way of it. That's why the worker is just standing there idly. In the meantime, these catapults are going to go in and start just eating Dami's base. Even with those dragons, he's just not going to be able to kill them due to my upgrade advantage. We can see another drop getting ready from Kataru down here in mid-right, or in the mid-bottom. As these houses are just getting melted. I am building things to support it in the back. The last forge is going. Currently only getting 1 upgrade on one of my forges. There's 2 more. Hopefully this will even out the upgrade advantage pretty quickly, which I'm already only 1 upgrade behind in. And tower's going up to help kill Dami. In the bottom right, you can see just how many mages Kataru really has. But at this point, he needs to try to take these bases. He needs to take both this castle and the one on the top right if he wants any chance at coming back from this. And he needs to attack me while I'm weak. We can see that I have 5 Gatlings over here, even more down here. So it's just going to be tough to try to deal any kind of damage. He is going to be able to shut down this upgrade though. In the meantime, Dami is going to get eliminated from the last of his buildings being destroyed. I'm sneaking in the back left of Kataru's base, trying to lure his army over, as I do poke and start to deal some damage to his his new mine. He's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage with his mages over there. He is also able to completely destroy and melt those Gatling guns. But at this point, it's just red versus blue, and you can see map control differences. is not in his favor. 60 workers to only 30. He is currently mining from almost one base. He does have 14 mages, but it's not going to be enough at this point, taking 2 more castles. Along with this one down here. He has been doing drops, but you can just see it's not enough. All these towers coming up to defend this brand new mine. I do have workers just walking into this little area there, dropping some caltrops to cover the retreat. I'm just waiting for the fireballs, trying to bait it. It's easiest to dodge fireballs when you're in that giant line, since you just have to move to the side. Catapults from behind, shredding his workers, with more coming from up top. That is just gonna surprise him from his flanks. He's not gonna be able to do too much behind that. More Gatlings coming from the side. His army is starting to get slaughtered over here, just streaming in the Gatling guns. These mages are dropping very quickly. Most of them are now out of mana as well. They're no longer going to be overly useful. Got 4 catapults going over here. With 7 more Gatlings on their way, I could really have done for more production if I wanted. It seems he does have some mages left. He's not going to be able to do an overly large amount with it, though. He's going to be able to kill that catapult, though, as his last mining castle will go down. At current, he has 5 golds, 12 workers, and 2 more in production. Lots of his army is going down, and there goes half his remaining workers, and they keep dropping like flies. He's down to 18 population, and that is game. He won't be able to do anything else after this. Really, what the main thing there was, Mr. Pankaka had a beautiful position, having 4 mines for the bulk of the game. If he was able to stay and be able to build up his upgrades, he would have been able to easily take one of the top positions, and even probably kill both Katara and myself. But since he lagged out and was disconnected, it gave that entire bottom left side to be completely open for anyone to take. Then no one scouted me taking it, meaning I was completely free to take those safely without worry of harassment, letting me get the eco advantage to be able to overcome the Rax play from Katara. Very hard fought by all players. I want to congratulate all those participating, from Dami to Mr. Pankaka to Kataro. I thought it was a fun game. I hope you guys thought it was fun to watch. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. If you guys have any replays you want to send in for me to check out, either analyze, give you tips, or to perhaps cast on the channel, feel free to send them via Discord. This is Hobo, signing off. See ya, guys.